Another episode of Handbook to Success, helping you achieve your dreams faster. A constant question I have to ask myself is it actually necessary? Mainly pertaining to a short-term goal that's leading me up to achieve a long-term goal. And so the best way that I could explain this to you, this whole theory of is it actually necessary, is a story. But before I get into that, what I want to say is we often hear that short-term goals are a great way for us to help ourselves achieve a long-term goal. And that is absolutely true. However, the problem is, if we're not careful, a lot of times those short-term goals can actually impede on us achieving our long-term goal. So I'm going to get into a quick story here to explain this point. So there were a lot of businesses that I tried to start before we actually got and landed on Handbook to Success. A couple of them were actually with my co-host John Yeckley, who you see on the show. Those were a fashion business, a cologne business. Had a couple myself, being a pen and paper business. Those were all things I tried to launch before Handbook to Success. And there was a number of reasons those didn't work, inexperience, young age, things like that. But one of the big reasons was that I never asked myself, or if John was working on it with me, we never asked ourselves, was it necessary to the goals that we had set? Were they necessary to start and launch our business? And so let me kind of explain this through a YouTube setting, right? So you want to start a YouTube channel, you got to get lighting, camera, microphone, all this type of equipment, editing software, maybe a computer. If you don't have one yet, you got to get all this stuff, right, to make out and put great content out on the internet. But the fact of the matter is, you have to think about it. Do I really need all those right now? Because by the time you get the good stuff, you're looking at 1,000 plus, maybe even 2,000 plus a bill, depending on how much you have to buy. And not all of us have that sitting around right now. Us here at Handbook to Success, we didn't have that sitting around. So what do? Phone, supported on books, on a music stand. Is it great? No. But what this does is it allows us to start. It allows us to get our influence, our impact, and our message out to you sooner, rather than waiting 6 months until we can build up the funds to pay for all that better equipment. So now, we're still saving, we're still trying to get the better equipment because we want to improve, but now we're still getting our influence and our impact out there to you. We're still living, and we've launched that passion. And because that's something you have to think about, right? If you're just dreaming, well, just dreaming and not acting on your dream is just as bad as someone who has no drive and no purpose in life. If you want to turn your dream from a dream, you need to turn it into reality. And the only way to make your dream a reality is to actually work and go farther on your dream. And by the time, if you have to wait and save up all that stuff and all that money for whatever it is you need to buy for your dream, the drive might be gone. So you have to set the right goals and try to figure out what's necessary right now. Again, with the YouTube analogy, those cameras and all other equipment, maybe those are a bit more long-term goals than what you need to focus on. What can you get done today? Well, hey, you can get social media apps set up for all your stuff because that's free. You can get your YouTube account set up and optimized. They're running great. You connect all your accounts. Maybe the first thing you buy is a logo. Get a professional logo done or a professional YouTube header thing. Whatever it is you need to get done. And then at that point, take your phone, because phone cameras are great, and you can start recording and then focus on saving up for that better stuff in the future. So short-term goals are great, but you have to prioritize them. What needs to get done? What's the minimal thing that needs to get done for me to achieve that long-term goal, or better put, actually work to that long-term goal? What's the shortest thing what's the least amount I have to do to actually start moving forward with that long-term goal? And if you do that, your short-term goals won't impede you. And that's what it comes down to, is really, you just got to start. It's like in any sport, you got to keep your eye on the ball, and you got to really kind of just keep your head in the game, and then you will get to that long-term goal. But if you start getting distracted by all this other equipment and all this other stuff you can use, and you don't keep your eye on the ball, on that long-term goal, you're going to get lost, because it's a windy road. Success is a windy road. And the short-term goals are your roadmap. They're your markers. But the thing is, you have to keep focused on that long-term goal and not get distracted by all this other stuff that's going on around us. So with that, I want to kind of conclude this video. Comment down below what it is you have a long-term goal, what's your long-term goal that you want to follow, and then comment also, what are some short-term goals that are helping you get there, or what are some short-term goals that are actually impeding you from really achieving the long-term goal. As always, make sure to like, favorite, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications so you can get more videos and content like this one. And with that, we'll see you next time.